Hey, thanks for coming here to attend the session on MD Powering Analytics with Master Data Management. I'm Ajay Golapalli, Ecosystem Director at Informatica, responsible for the technical partnership between Informatica and Databricks. Today, what we're going to talk about is all about MDM. But before we start talking about Master Data Management, I want to talk about what is a partnership with Databricks. Informatica and Databricks, we have a lot of customers together where we support the data management aspect of it for Databricks. Whether it is migrating the data into Databricks or building solutions on Databricks, most of the customers, there are many joint customers, utilize our data management services, which is the Informatica's Intelligent Data Management Cloud. And we also have IDMC platform, the Informatica's Intelligent Data Management Cloud. We do like 110 trillion transactions a month, and we are one of the Gartner's number one. We are the number one on their spectrum of master data management. But if you think about data, right? Just a quick question, show of hands. How many of you work on data? Everybody. So we are on the right forum then, right? So we all know that, especially when we have data in enterprise, there are always challenges. Without challenges, no job security at all. So that's a good sign. But the problem becomes where it becomes a customer dissatisfaction, where customers feel like they don't know what we sell and what they're being serviced for, and how are they managing their case studies, case scenarios, everything. So the data becomes so fragmented. It is that, especially with this widespread problem, what's happening is many organizations, they want to share the data, they want to make it usable for their enterprise, but it is not possible. So with all this fragmented data, what happens is it breaks down these fragmented experiences. So when you have in an enterprise, when the customer signs up to build their solutions, especially to do business transformations, the entire thing becomes, that by itself becomes a bigger nightmare for them. They have to, not only from a customer angle, they get customer acquisitions, or talking about sales forecasting, or talking about process automation. None of them is interconnected. Everything is silo built. So this becomes a challenge for customers who are in the enterprise, that they do not know how to manage the solutions. So that is where Informatica has been helping thousands of customers with master data management. So what we did in Informatica is, we worked with all the data vendors, whether it be Databricks or all the different vendors, Azure, AWS, Google Cloud. It doesn't matter who it is. We have built a sophisticated master data management to bring your enterprise data across multiple domains and build a single golden record for the customer. So that way, there is an ability for the customer to be serviced, not only from acquisition perspective, but from service perspective, and also to know how are they connected together. And yet, the critical necessary to improve the business outcomes is possible only through the master data management. While we talk about this, I can boldly say this: Informatica is the only MDM, master data management vendor today, who provides this interconnected multi-domain master data management. So the obvious question you will ask me is like, what is multi-domain master data management? I've heard about master data management, but what is multi-domain? Think about, you have data sitting in your enterprise, customers data, product data, reference data, supplier data. Everything is individual domains. So everything becomes a domain itself, because if you take, for example, in a supply chain management scenario, your orders are a domain, and then your customer CRM becomes another domain. How do you connect these two? So this connecting multiple domains together, what Informatica does best with multi-domain master data management. The way we built it, the way we approached it, is through our IDMC as a shared platform. IDMC, Informatica's Data Management Cloud, starts your experience from data. So the first thing in a data journey is data acquisition, discoverability. where is the data in the enterprise, and then how do I improvise my data, what kind of quality that we need to apply for, is that quality rules can be made to cleanse the data. And once you bring your data into your analytical workloads, and how do I make sense of this data is where the entire data journey begins for any master data management. So with IDMC being the shared services platform, what we did is we built individual domains of data elements where we talk about customer 360 or a supplier 360 or a product 360 or a reference 360 or a life sciences 360. 360 means 360 degrees view of the customer data itself and the enterprise. It makes the domain easily usable for about the customer, about the domain for the enterprise itself. What we did is we approached it not only from a data perspective, we also augmented with AI services. Claire is our AI engine. Claire has been there for now it's about 9 years right now. Claire has been providing various data classifications, built on various data classification, data regression, machine learning models. So whether it be it a classification, or whether it be it a text-based analytics, or whether it be it a NL to SQL, or whether it be it SQL to NLP, it doesn't matter what your use case of data is, there is a service in Claire that is running behind the scenes. Over the course of we matured these capabilities, we developed the customer 360 and we continue to build the multi-domain capabilities to support this entire product master data management. Claire provides identity matching, for example, or it could be like a product matching between multiple products. How do I group it? How do I do auto classification? All of them is possible with Claire. So now with Claire providing all these things and the AI services and the data going through the data journey from discoverability to ingestion to integration to quality and making sense of the data with match, merge, relate process for master data management, this makes a compelling, complete solution for enterprises. Let's take a quick demo of it, right? So this is a scenario where we had it with the life sciences team, and there's a full-fledged demo. I'm just going to show you a glimpse of what MDM looks like, master data management looks like. But there is a full demo available in the booth in 315. You should go talk to my experts. My team is there to support you to showcase how master data management can service for your enterprise, for your needs. And in this demonstration, I'm going to take a look at a patient's journey. So when you log on to the master data management, the first thing we all want to see is cool dashboards. Yes, cool dashboards are a great way to start, but realistically what we need is that one golden record of that particular entity, whether it be a patient in here, or whether it be a product in a supply chain management, or whether it be within the Databricks environment. So when you do a search over in the mechanism for the record, you'll be able to find the different records from different systems of the same entity. In this scenario, the patient. It brings that entire 360-degree view of the data itself. So not only from an acquisition perspective, but you're also able to filter that one patient or one entity's golden record. I get a complete view of it, and along with it, making sense of the data from various sources, applying the rules of quality, making sure that your data is not only enhanced for usability purposes, but also available to making sure that it's accurate in nature to look at the data itself. So when you do quality rules, what you want to look at it is there are simple rules like, date of birth cannot be for a 60-year-old patient, date of birth cannot be less than 10 years back. At the same time, there are complex rules that customers have adopted to, for example, saying if the order belongs to a particular region, there is a tariff coming in, especially with new tariffs and everything goes on every day in and day out process. When you look at a product, what product, how does the tariffs go on, what is the kind of rules that we need to apply for each product, everything can be built into these rules over in the master data management. And when we do this, especially when we have data coming in from different systems, it could be from a CRM, it could be from your billing, it could be from invoices, it could be from orders, whatever it could be, the element of bringing the singular streamlined approach for the data provides a complete view of that particular entity. In this scenario, it's a patient, but in many scenarios, it could be business, it could be product, it could be references. So those kind of, today morning we talked about SCDs, slow changing dimensions. So all of them can be applied into your master data management scenarios. And what we did with AI, right? This is where AI makes a huge improvising of the data itself. This is step one, where we can bring the data together, match, merge, relate everything. But when you do multi-domain, we spoke about a one entity right now. The entity, how it is connected to different entities is Claire. That's where one of the things that Claire does best. Claire automatically understands what the knowledge graph looks like. How does your knowledge graph flow from one entity to another entity? For example, in this scenario, how does the patient connect it to a provider? How does the provider connect to the various other patients or various other clinics or various other hospitals that the provider is entitled with and the insurance? So I know many of us have been to hospitals at least once. And the process is not only mind-boggling, especially during COVID, I don't know how many of you know it, we had to do contact tracing to find out which patient was monitored by which provider was monitored by which hospitals. So the entire gamut of information was streamlined using knowledge graphs to find out how do we tackle the data itself. So with this, what we did is you will be able to see the knowledge graph, able to click on and then drill down or drill up. You can do all of those things within the master data management to find how do you relate the multiple entities of data. What we announced recently, today, is the availability of the building of MDM extensions. So with the Databricks, what we've been working with them is to bring the data, MDM data, onto Databricks and provide a capability for customers to get the data in Databricks and to do AI models on top of it, to apply LLMs, Gen AI frameworks, and to do building analytics. So once the data is in Databricks, you can also build cool visualizations using Power BI or your enterprise dashboard mechanisms, whatever it could be, and you're able to build your enterprise dashboards. And with Databricks, especially, we announced a blueprint a few months back where you're able to take the MDM data and then streamline the process and provide a complete architecture for Gen AI framework. So when you're asking a question, for example, we saw a search mechanism, but what about, Ajay, how do I make it a natural language processing? You can do with Claire GPT availability. So Claire GPT can do some of the Q&As. And if you want to extend it with your Databricks environment in your systems, in your organization, and you want to utilize some other data coming in on your ODS, you are able to utilize the power of the Gen AI framework, where you have the framework for building these Gen AI applications in your organization with using any of the Mosaic AI LLMs along with rack chain process, where you are able to get not only just the data, but also use the metadata information that MDM can provide you with. The master data management metadata intelligence provides you like saying, for example, hey, how do I know who is the provider for the patient X? Automatically it knows it has to go into provider 360 and it will be able to fetch the data for your analytical needs through using the LLM models. And what we did is I have Gayatri, who is from Deloitte, who implemented working with us in building the solution for a customer. Gayatri, you want to say about the experience?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Ajay. So let me start with this note. It's not a rocket science. So Databricks and also Informatica have provided all the required components to make sure that the vendors and also the customers implement this in a very easy way. So what we have done and proposed to a client who is a large wine and spirit distributor, they have all the major applications like SAP, SFDC, Informatica, Databricks in their ecosystem. The customer information, product information, everything is being mastered in Informatica, P360 and also C360. So what we have done is, yes, the data is now flowing from SAP to Informatica via CDI and CAI process, it gets mastered in the customer 360, and once it gets mastered, we wanted to identify what is the customer classification, and this particular customer classification is very domain specific. It is very specific to their industry, to their business model. What is the level 1, what is the level 2, what is the various levels should be this customer have to be, right? This cannot be purchased from outside. It has to be done with the knowledge the SME have it in their business unit. So what we have done is we took this particular piece and implemented this business model as an agentic AI in Databricks. So in Databricks, we use the RAG architecture where all these domain specific information is created as a vector search. It is stored over there, and Informatica is going to be the major engine to connect, to orchestrate all these components. How it does? So as I said, yes, we get the data from SAP via Informatica CDI CAI component, and then we have the Agentic AI sitting over there in Databricks, which has the web search tool, various different tools, web search tool implemented, RAG architecture implemented. Now I am extending this with the GenAI architecture or the blueprint just Ajay displayed. So I used CAI as an orchestrated. So we connected the customer 360, we pulled the customer information, like I wanted to know like which this customer, say for example the Walmart customer, for this store number, what is the classification for it, and I just have a pager of like in an Excel sheet the definitions defined, and how am I going to find where the store is located, when the store has been started, everything I need to do the web search. So this customer information is pulled by CAI component. It then sends a request to the Agentic AI in Databricks. The Databricks Agentic AI component gives the response back, having all the RAG architecture, all the Agentic, all the tool implemented. It brings up the response which has level 1, level 2, level 3, everything defined in a good fashion way. So now the CAI again pulls that information, it augments it, and it stores back in customer 360. So that's how like end to end the flow we implemented. Further, we also added this informations in our CGDC, which I just wanted to add as well. And now we are extending this for our PIM use case as well for image recognition. So this is how we implemented, and I'm happy to share this information. Please let us know. Deloitte have their booth in 516. Please stop by. Thank you.
And I also have our founding member of the MDM service, Koi, is the vice president. If you have any questions, if you want to more dig down deeper, Koi can definitely support us on this one. And we also have another session about the entire IDMC stack, all the CDI, CAI, IDMC that we spoke about. We have a booth. The booth will be able to explain everything from end-to-end perspective. Thank you so much for listening to us. If you have any questions, please reach out to me.